The sooner you start, the faster you're going to get there. And by sooner, I mean younger in your life, right? When you have more energy and more vitality and more vigor to go after your goals and dreams, to put in those hours to build that foundation that's going to ultimately help you create the lifestyle that you want, where you are not trading hours for dollars, but you're trading knowledge and experience for dollars and also creativity for dollars, right? It takes time to build that foundation. And no matter what successful person you talk to, they're all going to tell you it took 8 to 10 years, maybe even 15 years, but it was worth it, right? The toil, the blood, sweat, and tears, the time away from friendships, right? The time away from family, it's all worth it in the end, right? Because then you're going to have more of the freedoms that you want. I like to think about freedom as being 4 parts. There's time freedom, there's money freedom, location freedom, and also creative freedom, right? There's many other types of freedom that are like subtypes, but I like to think of those 4, right? You're going to be able to make the money you want. There'll be no ceiling on you when you create the business and lifestyle that you want, which is a natural expression of who you are and what other people want from you, right? How they want to be served by you. And you'll know this by just being observant and aware of when people give you unsolicited feedback, when they tell you, hey, you really helped me out in this way, or I can't believe how knowledgeable you are in this, or how did you know all this? You'll know it by that. So that there's the time freedom. You get to work when you want, how you want. You get the money freedom. There's no ceiling on how much you can make. There's the location freedom. We're in a digital age right now. We're in a digital era. You don't need to be one-on-one with people anymore, right? You can work anywhere you want in the world. And with connectivity, internet, you can do your work all over the world. Coaching, consulting, creating content that helps people solve problems, other types of areas like that. And last but not least, this is one of my favorite types of freedom. That's creative freedom. Creative freedom is the ability to create what you want to create, right? To make the impact in the world that you want to do. Create the things, the products and services that you want to see in the world, right? All of the books that I've written, all the content, most of the content that I've created, if not all the courses I've created, they're solving my problems first, right? And since human beings are all very similar, whatever my problems are, there's a high probability it's your problem as well, and other people's problem or struggle, right? Challenge. And so when I create a book or a course that helps me, there's a high probability it's going to help other people. And in fact, it does help other people, right? Because my challenges are your challenges, right? And so when you're creating things that solve problems in the world that you have, or shape the world in the way that you want, that's one of the ultimate forms of freedom. I know time and money freedom are huge, and even location freedom is pretty big, but creative freedom is something that I don't think people talk about enough, and it's one of my favorite creative freedoms. And that happens from, starting on that first step and taking that journey of creating the business and lifestyle that you want. You've got to break away from the traditional 9-to-5, going along, being a cog in the wheel, which isn't a bad thing. I want to stress this more and more. I always stress this. It's not bad. There's nothing wrong with that, but there is a ceiling to that, right? There is a lack of control to that. It doesn't fill the 4 freedoms. It will never fill or never check the boxes for those 4 fundamental freedoms as an infinite human being or an infinite spiritual being having a human experience and a creative being, right? You're not going to be able to make all the money you want if you work in a 9-to-5. I don't care who you work for. There is going to be a ceiling at some point in time. I hear people talking about things like, go to your boss or manager and ask them to shape your role in the way that you want, or, give you different opportunities or let you kind of guide your career. I've worked in the professional world and I've never actually seen how that can actually be a thing, right? Maybe I'm being narrow-minded, but I've never actually seen that be a thing. If you're working for someone else or working for a corporation, you're going to be working under their rules. You're going to be playing in their salary range, right? I mean, there's only so much that they can pay you. Even if they wanted to pay you more, they're working under a larger umbrella too, right? I mean, you can't obviously have an infinite pay scale, which you can if you create your own online business. I'm working on a product that I'll be launching hopefully very soon. It'll be more consulting based, like the course will be consulting based. And I think it's going to help out a lot of people get over those hurdles of what should I do? How should I do it? So stay tuned for that coming up in the near future. It's called Ideas with 5 S's, but those S's are really dollar signs, because when you have an idea to solve a problem that exists in the world, and problems with, again, 5 S's, $5 when you solve problems with creative ideas for people, they're going to pay you money, right? And there is an infinite number of problems to solve in the world, problems that only you can solve, right? Your knowledge, your life experience has given you the perfect platform to solve problems for people, certain problems, right? You're well suited to solve certain problems. And when you come up with creative ideas to solve those problems, then you build a business and you build a lifestyle right there. Gary Keller said that business supports life, right? It doesn't go the other way around. You build a business to support the life that you want. I think he had a lot of, obviously, things really clear and straight in his world. And years ago, I was fortunate enough to attend a seminar where Jay Papasan and his wife, I think her name is Wendy, was speaking. Of course, Jay Papasan works in the Gary Keller organization, and he's like the writer or the, he helps Gary write the books, and he does a lot of internal stuff in that company. He works very closely with Gary Keller. And he was saying that for years, he wasn't taking a vacation and he was just working a lot, right? And one time Gary Keller said, hey, eventually your kids are going to look back and they're only going to remember the good times and the vacations that you took. And if you didn't take any, you're not giving them kind of the, life that they want, the good memories that they really want, right? They're going to remember the good times, and you need to kind of give them the opportunity to take vacations and spend time with your family. And that's what you're working for. And it kind of shifted something in Jay Papasan, and he and his wife started putting more time into planning their vacations and excursions and things with their children, because those are important things. It's not all just about work. We want to have a good work-life balance. And that's why I think, business and lifestyle design can be integrated to a degree. We don't have to go so far out of balance to do our business and our work in the world that we miss out on creating the lifestyle that we want as well. Nice integration is what we really ultimately want. And I think that's coming more and more. People are realizing that sometimes they're working so much to buy things that they don't even want or really need, that we're just kind of sold or conditioned to by modern advertising or keeping up with the Joneses or just bright, shiny object, right? And you ask yourself, do I really want the new car? Is it going to give me happiness, or would I rather buy an older car and have more time freedom to create the things I want in the world? Maybe you want a garden. Maybe you want to mountain bike more. Maybe you want to go on walks more. Maybe you want to give yourself a little breathing room and spend a little more time doing the things that you enjoy rather than working just to pay for things. I think people are waking up, especially right now in this mass flowering of consciousness and mass opening of awareness. People are really assessing what's important to them, what they truly value. I know I am. I've had huge realizations about what I really want from my life and where I really want to spend my time and how I really want to earn my money and what I want to do with that money, right? And always, for many years, I've valued experiences much more than material objects. I live very simply. I value my friendships, family and friendships, much more than, material things. And as time goes on, I really value experiences and time freedom much more than material objects. And so I've always been kind of in the voluntary simplicity, minimalist movement. And I find myself going more and more to that as years go on. And I really get really clear on what I really want from life. And this is just waking up to your own goals and dreams, and not the goals and dreams that maybe you've adopted from other people or from society or culture. I mean, after all, we are a consumer culture Nothing wrong with capitalism. I, in fact, love free markets. I love that type of idea. But we have to be very careful. We have to be more responsible, right? And otherwise, we can go down the wrong road. I mean, this is, human beings have the ultimate freedom here in the capital world, capital Western world. And we have to be very careful, because with great freedom comes great responsibility, right? And you have to be really aware of what you're buying, what you're doing, what you're investing your time in. So I want to encourage you to, start sooner, think bigger. If I go back and tell my 20-year-old self, some advice, and I was starting little businesses and little ideas back then too. I'm going to be shooting a video in the near future where I'm talking about this little figure I made called Cube Buddy, which had little magnets on his hands and feet. And it was a little toy for the, office furniture world, or office cubicles or desks, so to speak. Bendable, you've probably seen those. There's another group of products called Benders, a little family of wire bendable things. Well, this is Cube Buddy. He has bendable arms and legs, and I created him because I used to work in the office furniture industry, and I would go into people's cubicles and I saw all sorts of toys and signs and posters and mugs, and people love to put that stuff around them because it's fun. It helps them get through the day. It makes their, cubicle experience more enjoyable, so to speak. And so I kind of created Cube Buddy out of that. But even though I didn't take that to fruition, and I did sell some of those, right? And I even entered in, my brother and I even got a tent in a festival here in Boise, and we sold those and some rock formations that my uncle created, and we had fun doing that, and people did buy them, and it taught me a lot about what I want to do and what I want to make in the world. And I'm going to be sharing a video with you in the near future of a few lessons that I learned that are really so important that I want to share with you, so that maybe you can avoid having to put the time and money into learning those lessons too, and you can learn from my experience. That's one of the things that I'm really passionate about, is sharing best practices, sharing experience, giving my guests a platform to share their experience on the podcast, so that you don't have to put that time in. You can go further, faster, get where you want to be faster. And again, where you want to be, I'm assuming, if you're like me, is, have more time, money, location, and creative freedom to make the lifestyle that you want. So, start where you're at. Start right now. We've got to be the CEOs of our life. Even if we work for a CEO, you've got to be the CEO of your creative venture. You're a creator. You came here to turn thoughts to things. You came here to make things. The joy is in the creative process, right? When you have an idea that excites you. I just did a video on Bashar and his recommendation. It's called The Formula by Bashar. His recommendation is to do what excites you. So when you get an idea that excites you, and you want to bring that idea into the physical world, the material plane, and you're making it and sourcing materials and things that you need to make that happen, things you need to acquire to make that happen, that's super fun, because you came here to create and you came here to do that. When we die, we don't have that opportunity anymore. We go back to the ethereal state, whatever that may be, or the spiritual state. We don't have a body. We don't have hands that can make things. We can't draw out our plans. We can't strategize and think about how we can position our product or how we can make it super cool. I mean, we got to seize this opportunity right now with what we have. It excites me every day. It makes me get up super excited, and I want to dig into the projects that I have, right? I've got so many things on my project list, and I just focus on taking that next step, doing the thing right in front of me, because we can sometimes feel overwhelmed if we're thinking about the 10,000 things we want to do, or I've got, 9 courses that are circling like airplanes, and I'm landing them in a fashion that allows me to make the course super valuable, but also not go overboard with it. I'm not going to work 10 years on a freaking course that's, 20 hours long. You don't want that. I don't want to create that. I want to share the best of the best, 20 to 25 years of studying this type of stuff, spirituality, law of attraction, manifestation, condense it into a simple almost micro course. I like that idea, micro courses, so that you can maybe within an hour or maybe max 2 hours, get the nuggets, put them into practice, and get what you want, right? Check out my courses, gmarkphillips.com/courses. More courses coming all the way if you all the time. If you want to be notified when courses come up, just sign up to my email list at gmarkphillips.com. You'll also get access to tools for conscious creators, but I will notify you when those courses come up. But I hope this video finds you well. I hope that you will start before you're ready. The sooner you start, the faster you're going to get there. And I guarantee you, I don't know you, but I guarantee you there will be a point in time in your life when you'll wish you had started sooner. There's no time like the present, right? I love that sentiment, that idea that asks us, when is the best time to plant a tree? Well, 20 years ago. When's the second best time? Right now. Start sooner, start small, build a solid foundation, right? Tuning into who you really are, aligning with your true nature, aligning with what you love to do. Look at the Ikigai, the model for the reason for being, right? You're a human being. Look at the Ikigai. Build smart, build slow if you need to. Look at Amazon. Amazon built really slow. For years and years and years, they were plowing their profits back into the business. They weren't making profits for their investors. Investors were getting freaking agitated. I remember listening to the news 10 plus years ago, and it was almost daily. When is Amazon going to make money? Is Amazon going to succeed? They're right at the brink of failure, because they were walking that edge, that razor's edge of success. They weren't, they didn't want to pull all their profits out like some of these new startups do, and then they don't have the foundation to provide that long-term growth, the longevity, right, that we want to have ultimately in life. You don't want to burn out your business idea because it's built on a shifty, shaky foundation. It's better to build slow and steady and plan for the long-term, marathon type experience in your business. And then that way you have a foundation to build on. Building fast and shaky, and by that I mean building products and promoting products that are not in true alignment with who you are, that you don't really fully believe in, that aren't necessarily something that you would buy or something you feel good selling to a friend or family member, right? Those are the kind of things that when you build fast in an expeditious way just to try to get there, that eventually come back and bite you. I've seen it over and over and over in the online space, right? People get into something and a few years down the road, they're burned out because it wasn't in true alignment with them. It wasn't a natural expression of who they were. They were way off balance. That'll only go so far. We naturally want to reach an equilibrium. So the more in alignment your business is with who you are and your products and services are with who you are, the more longevity you're going to have. Because then it's just a constant stream and you're not having to pull energy from yourself in order to sustain that. It's more sustainable, and that's what ultimately you want. I'm going to be working on a video very soon where I'm talking about the fact that how thrilled I am to pass 500 subscribers, and that took me 9 years to get to 500 subscribers. And I'm going to share some of my key takeaways so that hopefully it only takes you a couple of months to get to 500 subscribers, because that's what it should take. There are many things that I did that held me back, and I'm going to share that with you in that video coming up pretty soon here. But build slow, build steady, start now, even before you're ready, but really think of yourself as a CEO and think of yourself as a marketing machine and build in that way. I'm very close to launching consulting, and I'll be having that up on my website pretty soon. You can schedule a consultation with me. I want to share my experience with you. I want to help you get where you want to be faster. I don't want you to struggle for 9 years to get 500 subscribers. I don't want you to struggle out there with what course platform you should do, what website platform you should build on, how you should position in social media or playing the content game. I want to help you get there faster. So this is rising out of seeing friends and people that I know struggling with how to get into the online space, right? More and more people are going to be getting into the online space. Again, when's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the second best time to plant a tree? Right now. When was the best time to get into the online game? 20 years ago. That was the best time to get into the online game. And by that I mean putting your business online. Doing content marketing, doing attraction-based marketing, creating digital products, selling coaching/consulting. Best time was 20 years ago. That time's gone. Second best time is right now, today. And so if that's something you're thinking of, stay tuned. I will be announcing that consulting package very soon, consulting program very soon. I'm very excited to share this with you. This has been something I've been thinking about for a long time. And finally, I can't hold back any longer because I see there's such a need for it. And I see some friends falling into pitfalls, buying products and services, digital products and services. I will not name any names right now, but buying packages to, kind of instant online business packages or website packages or funnel packages that are very expensive. And for the beginner, the bootstrapper, I'm a bootstrapper. I'm not going to spend. You cannot buy your way into success in the real world or in the online world. You cannot buy your way there. And I realize it's enticing, right? But in my experience and in watching other people grow, because I'm always looking at all these different online entrepreneurs and businesses in many different sectors. I geek out about it to such a degree. I watch them. The thing that grows businesses is putting in the work. You can't buy something and pay lots of money and have it happen. I don't care who you are, what your business is. I don't care what social media marketing firm you're hiring. They're never you can't pay for your business to grow. Years ago, what it was, 2018, 2017, social media marketing businesses were the hot thing, right? Everyone was going to teach you how to start a social media marketing business. And you know what? I'm sure people made money on that. And I've seen people, I've been to conferences before that have those types of businesses and they do very well. They've made a lot of money. But it's kind of faddish. And it's kind of promising the sun, the moon, and the stars to the landscape company that is your client, or the dry cleaner company that's your client, or, the dentist that's your client. And ultimately, end of the day, I've never talked to one of those businesses who says, you know what? I'm super thrilled with what I'm getting from my social media marketing company. The reason for that, in my opinion, is no one's going to love your business like you are. No one's going to be able to talk your language like you do. No one's going to be able to promote like you do. Now at the high end, where we're talking maybe celebrity or sports figure clients, like maybe VaynerX consults with or does that, it could probably work there because I think you're going to have a dedicated person. They're going to follow you around with a camera. If you pay a lot for that, you're going to get like a Gary V type experience, right? Where if you're a celebrity or if you're a sports figure, you're going to get a dedicated person. They're going to intimately know you. They're going to work very closely with you, and that can work. But if you're just paying someone to promote your business and they don't really know you at a deep, deep level, it's going to be incongruent with who you really are. I don't think it's going to attract the clients that you want. But again, my point is I've seen a lot of people fall into pitfalls, and I want to help you avoid that. Like I say, one of the fun realizations of getting into the online space, I've been doing things in online since 2012, 2013, when I published my first Kindle book, Boundless Joy, on the Kindle platform. And since then, I have published 5 Kindle books and launched 1 podcast, Enhancing the Human Experience, which is now over 3 years old, grown and promoted my YouTube channel, got into digital courses, which is one of my favorite new additions. And then, of course, now getting into consulting, that I want to help you get where you want to be faster. I want to help you if you're on the road, and please go look at my stuff. Look at my website, gmarkphillips.com. Check out my podcast. Check out my products. If I'm doing, I forgot the Focus and Flow .co, which is my t-shirt, my product and apparel brand, right? Products and apparel for conscious creators, that grew out of my love for graphic design and, again, creating things. You're a creator. I'm a creator. We love to create. When I was little, I would sit in my room for hours on end doing graphic design, drawing and sketching and painting and creating things. And so I put that into a product and apparel brand that is really the marriage of graphic design and design and creativity, but also spirituality and metaphysics and consciousness, higher consciousness awareness. And that became focusandflow.co. You can check it out. Products and apparel for conscious creators. And based on the idea that what you focus on expands, and where focus goes, energy flows, right? You're going to focus on the seeds, the thought seeds of the experiences you want to have, and you're going to activate those. So if those things appeal to you, if you want to do things like that, then I want to help you avoid many, many of the pitfalls that I had to endure and get there faster. And there are many. Like I say, I see a lot of my friends doing things in the online space that where they often ask me now, hey, what do you think about this? What's your input? And I see them spending money and time on very expensive products that I don't purchase. I'd never purchase, because I know now that you cannot spend money and make up for the putting in the work. And it takes two things. It takes two things. I believe this is for physical brick and mortar business and also online business. Alignment with who you, many things. The two things were going to be time and effort. It takes time and effort to realize a successful business, right? You gotta be patient. You gotta do the work first, and then you gotta be patient, and then allow time to build the momentum. And so that's why I'm very passionate about launching my consulting portion of my business. And so stay tuned for that. So I hope this video finds you well. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And until next time, all the best health, wealth, and success. But start now. Start soon. The sooner you start, the faster you're going to get there. And eventually one day you will want to be there. You'll want to have that time freedom. You'll want to have the money freedom. You'll want to have the location freedom, and you will definitely want to have the creative freedom. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.